In this video, let's see how devil fruits are overpowered and which one of them are the strongest. Let's start with number 10, most powerful one. Number 10, the first fruit, Mori Nomi. A holder of this Logia power can create, control, and transform into plants from the forests. The user's body can partially or fully take on the characteristics of trees, from wood to foliage, as well as flowers, vines, grass, moss, etc. It makes them to a living forest, and it's only the Logia whose element comes as organic matter. The plants spawned by this devil fruit can be grown rapidly and made to move around freely and are very flexible. It can be used to ensnare or capture someone, and can generate large quantities of plants to unleash overwhelming large-scale attacks, like underground root tentacles. The plants can rapidly absorb any liquid they touch, which includes dehydrating living creatures after impaling them, leading to death, like the devil fruit of the sand. Another benefit bestowed by this Logia is that the user can undergo photosynthesis with their plant-like body. It allows the user to maintain himself indefinitely, so long as they're exposed to light and water without eating. The user also appears to have direct influence on a land's fertility, leaving behind a trail of various plant life wherever they walk. It's currently unknown if this is a passively active effect, or something the ability user has to do on purpose. Unlike most other Logia devil fruits, this fruit turns the user into a solid element instead of a fluid, making it similar to the Hito N, the fruit of ice. This means that the user is unable to let attacks pass through their body. That said, attacks are still harmless to them if their opponent doesn't use Busoshoku Haki, as they can simply regenerate from wounds like any other Logia user. The user is also capable of transforming themselves in a massive golem-like form composed out of plants and trees. It can regenerate as a sapling spouting out of the ground before rapidly growing and returning to the original form if destroyed. Number 9. The Nomi. This fruit, previously held by Portgas Diaz, is now in the hands of Sabo. The fruit's major strength, like other Logia types, is that it allows the user to produce as well as become the element they control. The user is able to create, control, and become fire. With this in mind, the user can create devastating fire-based attacks and gain a high resistance toward most heat-based attacks. The flame can also be used to increase the force of physical attacks. By turning into fire, the user is capable of letting enemy attacks harmlessly pass through their fiery body, or move around quickly in a stream of flames. Magum Maguni, the magma devil fruit held by a Kainu. Even when compared to the standard Logia, which are powerful in their own right, the Magum Maguni possesses incredible power. The main strength of this devil fruit is that it allows the user to become, control, and produce magma, molten rock, to attack their opponents with. The intense heat can vaporize an iceberg instantly, and boil seawater that the magma happens to land in. The heat from the magma melts away almost any flesh or metal it comes in contact with, and is capable of burning away entire parts of a human body. With this power running for a 10-day battle, it was strong enough to permanently change the weather of one half of an island into a blazing inferno. As a Logia, it can let physical attacks, such as punches and slashes, harmlessly pass through the user, unless they're imbued with Busoshoku Haki. The Magum Maguni has one of the highest offensive powers among the devil fruits, and its strength is powerful enough to take on people like Emporio Ivankov and Jinbei with minimal effort. Number 7. Hito Nomi. This fruit is in the hands of the previous Admiral Aokiji. As a Logia, this fruit allows its user to transform into the element of ice, as well as create and control it on a potentially massive scale, especially to freeze their surroundings. The Hito Nomi's power is considered a superior counterpart to the Yuki Nomi's, ice being a superior freezing agent to snow. Plus, this devil fruit's power is also capable of replicating snow, as in the case of Punk Hazard. It's interesting to note that this fruit is one of the few Logias that can be hit with a physical attack. This is mainly because ice is a solid-state element. The user cannot simply dissolve out of harm's way, as most Logia users can with their fluid bodies, and it is slower in terms of reforming the body when damaged. Most attacks are still ineffective against this fruit, because its user can simply shatter and reform the ice composing them on impact. It's also apparent that the user can control the ice in his body to mold it and change its shape, as seen when Kuzan formed a hole in his chest before Whitebeard stabbed through Kuzan with his Bicento, allowing Kuzan to avoid contact with the Haki-infused weapon. The user can instantly freeze anything that comes in contact with them, whether the user grabs onto the foe, or the foe makes contact with the user's body. Kuzan has resistance toward cold due to his devil fruit's element, being able to move around in cold environments with barely any protection. Number 6. The Seru Nomi. This fruit is held by Big Mom. The fruit's power is soul manipulation. It consists of manifesting and drawing out the souls of people who feel fear toward the user. The manifested souls take the form of a light pink, spectral-looking, but for the user, tangible substance, which leaks out of the victim's body like smoke. The user can extract the victim's soul by grabbing it once it's surrounding the target's body and pulling it out. This effectively steals from the victim's very lifespan, the amount of which is determined by the user. The user can steal part of the victim's lifespan, leaving their remaining lifespan that much shorter, or even take enough years to steal the victim's entire remaining lifespan, killing them instantly. By infusing objects with soul fragments, the user can humanize them. They're called homies. Almost anything can be be made into a homie. Inanimate objects are brought to life and gain the ability to stand upright and move independently, and they have a human face. Number 5. Hito Nomi. This fruit is held by Sengoku. This fruit is quite unknown, and we only have little information about it, except that it increases greatly the strength and the combat prowess of the user. The main strength of this fruit is that it allows the user to transform into a giant, living golden Buddha, gaining an extreme boost in strength to match the increased size. In this form, Sengoku's limbs grow out of proportion, giving him abnormally large arms and relatively tiny legs. His entire body becomes entirely made of solid gold. He can use palm thrusts to launch powerful shockwaves. This fruit has no apparent weaknesses, aside from the standard devil fruit weaknesses. Number 4. The Uomi, model Seru. The legendary Zoan fruit was held by the previous Emperor Kaido. The Uomi, model Seru, is a mythical Zoan-type devil fruit that allows its user to transform into a hybrid and full azure dragon at will. It was described as the strongest class of devil fruit. This fruit enables the user to turn into a giant, serpentine blue-scaled dragon, a type of eastern dragon called azure dragon. Apart from scales, acquired dragon features include horns, sharp fangs, and limbs with clawed hands and feet. In his full beast form, Kaido grows to rival a small town in size, making this the largest yet seen Zoan transformation. Is still very large, and in shape comes closer to his human form, with scales on his arms, outer torso, back and legs, as well as 6 horns on his head, claws on the hands and feet, and a long tail. In addition to his standard human beast form, Kaido has on several occasions showcased an alternate hybrid form. This form appears slightly bulkier and has different facial features, a full set of fangs, a wider nose, and eyebrows similar to his full beast form. Number 3. Zushi Nomi. The Zushi Nomi is a paramecia-type devil fruit, which allows the user to create and manipulate gravitational forces. It is eaten by Isho, better known as Admiral Fujitora. Whoever eats this fruit is granted the power to create gravitational forces of extreme potency. The ability user is able to move about living things and objects with little effort, ranging from debris to send flying against an enemy in smaller or massive numbers to a massive battleship. The range of the gravity field appears incredibly big, as it can pull down meteors from the highest of skies. Able to have their gravity go in any direction, even horizontal, as demonstrated by Fujitora, the user can move about matter with precision, effectively granting a form of telekinesis. By negating natural gravity and forcing things upward to navigate in midair, flight can be simulated, as shown by Fujitora, making either himself fly on a small rock platform or levitate. He's also able to manipulate multiple different gravity fields simultaneously, as seen when fighting Luffy at the end of Dressrosa arc. Number 2. Goro Goromi. The Goro Goromi is a Logia-type devil fruit that grants the power to create, control, and become lightning at will, making the user a lightning human. It's one of the few abilities touted as invincible, according to Nico Robin. The fruit was eaten by Enno. Number 1. Gura Nomi. The Gura Nomi is a paramecia-type devil fruit, which allows the user to create vibrations or quakes, making the user a tremor human. It was eaten by Edward Newgate, but upon his death, its power was stolen by Marshall D. Teach. The major strength granted by this fruit to the user is its ability to generate massive vibrations, or shockwaves, which can travel through virtually any medium, including the ground, the sea floor, and even the air. Because of this, Fleet Admiral Sengoku has stated that Whitebeard holds the power to destroy the world, and Vice Admiral Tsuru stated that even if she retreated to the ends of the ocean, there would be no safe place left in the world for her to go to when faced with the full power of the Gura Nomi. The user of this fruit can devastate an entire island with ease. Although their limitations are noticeable, it took repeated usages to come close to destroying the Marine base at Marineford. When Blackbeard took this devil fruit's power through an unknown method, he claimed that with the power of quakes, which brings destruction to all, combined with the darkness that reduces anything to nothingness, he was truly invincible and the strongest. However, this devil fruit's powers are noted by a hazard to both friend and foe alike, as observed by both Whitebeard and Blackbeard pirates. This devil fruit allows its user to forcibly take hold of any medium, allowing them to crack or pull normally intangible objects such as the air itself. This devil fruit has no apparent weaknesses, aside from the standard paramecia devil fruit weakness. Now you know 10 very powerful devil fruits, and we still have another 10 to make a second video. You don't want to miss it? Then hit the subscribe button and be ready to see which powerful devil fruits are coming.